Miss Transformers 96 here with another review. This time we have the Transformers Age of Extinction First Edition Optimus Prime. So here you go. Obviously this is the first Transformer toy from Age of Extinction to be released. I don't believe it's being released to stores. I think it's an Amazon exclusive, but I don't know, but maybe, I'm not sure. Overall, I did get it on Amazon, obviously. Here's the packaging, very cool, very similar to the packaging that we've been seeing in some Toys R Us's for the 30th anniversary of Transformers. As you can see, you got Transformers on the side, nice little logo for Transformers 4 Age of Extinction. First edition Optimus Prime, here's a nice artwork, although kind of cartoony, it's still very nice artwork. It's kind of, sealed shut right here, but then you open it, you can see the figure inside. You also get a great Age of Extinction logo there. And then on the back, you get this back, you get the back, obviously. I really like the colors on here. I think that it's nice. It's kind of silverish blue on the back with not too much stuff all over it. It's got some little, information at the bottom here. You get the pictures of the characters, and then you get, the things it comes with, changes in 15 steps, that type of thing. So overall, I do like the packaging. Now here he is. So obviously this figure, it's definitely not loved in the collector community, but some people like it, some people can't stand it, and I've got my opinions, which I obviously will share. First of all, in the car mode, in this big Western Star truck, as you can see, looks very cool. Definitely a different truck from all three of the movies, and it does look quite nice. Got a big kind of cab in the front, very small back here. I think it's accurate though. I mean, it looks like a good size. On the back here, you do have some just plain old gray. It doesn't look great, but it's okay, and you can kind of like see in there, but it is quite dark, and it's only up at the top. It really isn't a big deal. They could have hidden this if they wanted to, but they didn't. You've got the kind of like pipes up here. Looks nice. Little place where like the trailer would hook onto, or the shield in this case, and then you got the wheels. And overall very nice. Let's go into some of the small detail that's on here. Bring the lights in so you can see. Alright, so you've obviously got these tires here. They are all real rubber, which is nice, but they're hard rubber, so they're not flimsy or anything. They're very tough, but they are rubber, which is cool. You've got Autobot symbols in all of the hubcaps. Very neat, very cool that they did that. Looks really nice. You've got a Western Star logo there, painted blue. And then on here, I really love this. You've got a Western Star logo in chrome, which looks just fantastic. I think that's very cool. Obviously got this huge chrome front piece right here. You've got some silver, the flames, which look really nice. And then you've got the same, logos on the other side here. This also says Western Star, or has the logo for Western Star there. There you go, you can see it. So that's very cool. Really do love all the colors and everything. Everything tabs in together really quite well, except for like one place. But as you can see, the lines are all very nice. Everything tabs in like completely. They don't, kind of like sit apart tabbed. Up here, you get it a little bit, I guess, but not a big deal like at all. So overall, anyway, very nice. It comes together quite well. You can kind of see some chrome bits in there, but it's very mechanical, so you really can't tell what it is, so it doesn't look bad at all. And it is quite kind of far back in there, so it does look like you've got some space in between the windshield and where stuff is inside, which gives it a more realistic look, like there's room for seats and everything, so that's very cool. This should be clear too, I'm assuming, unless it's just, I don't know. Yeah, this should be clear, shouldn't it? Yeah, so I would like that to be clear. I'm trying to think, but I don't know. Overall, not a big deal, doesn't really matter. It is a bit hollow at the back here, and then at the bottom you can see you've got some more very chrome, shiny things, very neat. Alright, accessory-wise, it comes with these two things, a sword and a shield. The shield can plug in back here, which looks really nice. I'm not quite sure if this can plug in. I haven't really found a place. I mean, there is a place for a plug, but I don't know where it's supposed to go. If you really just want to save it, you can just, you can just put it in here though, and just, it'll just stay there. There you go. Yeah, so you can just leave it there if you'd really like to. But overall, very good. I'll talk about these accessories when he's in robot mode. Little size comparison, just to give you a small something. The only Transformer that I have in robot mode at this moment is this guy, Skywarp, and I just remembered I do have a second Transformer. Let me go get it. Alright, so I just got that thing, let me show it in a second, but here he is with Skywarp. As you can see, not a great comparison. You got a Cybertronian thing that's supposed to be like a jet compared to a real-life thing, so this was a terrible comparison anyway, but I just remembered that I do have 2 of these barricades from the first movie, and I keep one permanently transformed into robot mode, or in car mode, so here he is with this. I think that this is a little out of scale. I think that he's a little too big, but I'm not quite sure. It's very hard to tell, but worst case scenario, this truck is too big, which is overall a good thing. It's definitely not too small or anything, which is cool, but man, I mean, maybe it's in perfect scale. It actually might be. So overall, that's really nice, and that's, yeah, I think it's in pretty good scale. So overall, very cool. This is quite a large, you know, item here. Here he is just with the robot, so you can get a little height kind of comparison. He's just under a Voyager height, which is quite nice. Alright, let me stop the video and then let's get to transformation. Alright, so let's get transforming it, and then I'll talk about, you know, what I think about the easier transformation and everything like that. Overall, this is like a leader class type of figure. At least I think that it's like a leader class. I'm not sure. It might not be, or it might just be very close and not completely a leader, I don't know, but for a leader size figure at least, this is incredibly easy to transform. There's 15 steps. Now it's still not a walk in the park, but it is definitely incredibly much easier than anything else Transformer movie wise. But to start off the transformation, you're just going to want to kind of pop this top part off. You lift it up, and I mean, you've got like a full robot inside of it. It makes the figure look really bad when you see this, and it totally looks like a shell former, but you know, I think that it does look a little bit better after you get to know it. So yeah, so overall you can see Optimus Prime in here, kind of like he's driving himself, almost, if you want to put him like this. Kind of looks quite funny. But yeah, so just kind of rotate that to the back. Now, these parts right here, they tab in to these wheels, to here, and then to these doors. So you kind of just want to, there we go, untab it like that, as you can see. And then you can kind of just rotate it down. Right here, as you can see, there's little tabs in there. You just kind of want to split these up. Well, actually, before we split these up, let's move this. Let's move these panels, which are attached to Optimus Prime on his shoulder, the shoulder joints. They're attached into his shoulders, and then they're also attached at the bottom here. And these are very easily popped off, so just try to be careful. You kind of have to lift it as well as pull it. There we go. Got it unattached from him, and just unattached it from that, and just kind of leave it there. Don't pull it out, or else you're gonna pop it off. Same thing on this side. Just kind of pull it. There you go. Kind of just pop it off like that. Now you can flip to the bottom, and then you can kind of untab these and rotate these back. And this can just kind of go here. I think it, yeah, you can like snap it in place now, but hold on, we'll work on that in a second. But now that that's out of the way, this has clearance to swivel back. Before, you'd be hitting it like right in here. As you can see, it's kind of like indented right here, and the little tab, this thing, is under here. So you'd actually you'd pop it out, because it would try to go up on the joint and pop off. I haven't been looking at the camera, so if something's been out of the screen, I'm sorry. But yeah, but this rotates back, and then this kind of breaks and just folds back. It doesn't really like tab together, but it's fine. It just folds back. This up here. There you go. Now it clicks in place there. So just click it in place. And then let's move these arms. Take the arms, just rotate them, pop them into place, rotate them, and pop them into place. Want to just kind of keep the body up a little bit, and then just on the thigh joint, just rotate. Actually, I'm pushing this back, so you can just kind of push this back and down, but then rotate these legs down. There we go. Alright, and then this just kind of sits down as well as plugs into his back, so he kind of just plugs into the bottom there, kind of accordions to the bottom, plugs in, and then has his back plug in. Then you can put this piece down just like that. Now we go down to the legs. The legs are attached. They're not just clipped on. As you can see, you do want to kind of push this leg forward and pull this leg back so that you can kind of slide it out of the joint right there, just like that. And then take these, just take this, rotate it like this, and then just kind of sandwich it up. I don't even think that clicks them together, and you'd think that that would be in your way all the time, but it actually isn't. So then take that, rotate it, and then just kind of collapse it. And then the ankles are kind of tabbed in right there to this little piece, so just untab them and you'll be set to go. There you go, just untab them. Alright, and there he is, all transformed. Just need to kind of put him in an acceptable position. Alrighty. Here we go. Alright, now before I talk about the robot mode and what I think about this toy, you know, in his robot mode, let me just talk about the whole thing, what they're doing with this new toy line. They're making things much simpler, and I know that that's really upsetting a lot of people. And typically I get really upset about this stuff, like what is it? You know, Iron Man 3, when they made the toys really simple, cut the articulation, I was so disappointed. Even the cutting articulation from Iron Man 2 to like the Avengers was super disappointing, and that stuff really upsets me. It gets me really disappointed and everything like that. This type of thing, I do not mind. I think that it is actually smart on Hasbro's part, and I would of course rather them have the older Transformers like they used to make, like Transformers 1, 2, and 3. But I think that this is smart. Transformers are really hard to transform for a lot of people, and just regular people, they're extremely hard to transform. And then when you give them to kids, it's like impossible. A kid can never figure out how to do it. They don't have the attention span to do it, let alone the actual skill to be able to know what to do. So it is just absolutely impossibly hard for children, and that's something that they needed to fix, because these aren't just marketed for collectors, they're mostly marketed for kids, and therefore the kids should really be getting something out of this rather than what they have been. And especially since, you know, the kid can't just give it to their parent's gonna struggle with it, and the parent's not gonna want to do it over and over, and the whole novelty of this item is to be able to do that over and over. And so, you know, it's not fun for kids. I totally understand, which is why I do not mind Hasbro simpling these items down. I mean, it's even better for me. I'm not the type of person that really enjoys a good transformation, you know. It's kind of, if it's an interesting transformation, that's kind of neat, but I don't have a lot of fun just sitting down and transforming them. I have fun, you know, with the fact that I can transform them. So it makes, you know, reviews for me better, because typically, before I did reviews, I would just transform them into robot mode and just leave them, because I, you know, never needed to put them back. And now with reviews, I am forced to put them back, so it is quite nice to be able to have a little easier time with that and stuff like that. So overall, I do not mind this simple as the simpling them down, you know, I can't articulate what I want to say. I don't mind dumbing these figures down. I think that it's smart for kids, and it's even kind of nicer for me, but I would still prefer a really hard transformation and a fantastic figure, so don't get me wrong. But, you know, I think that this is smart. This does help Hasbro. It helps the kids. It doesn't help collectors so much, but I think collectors should be able to understand that there's good reasons for doing this, and it's not just Hasbro cheaping out. So that's my thoughts on this issue, if you want to call it. And yeah, they still look nice. I mean, the figures really have good looks to them, so as long as they can keep that up, I'll be happy. Alright, so there we go. This is obviously going to be a very long video, but I anticipated that due to, you know, first toy of a new toy line that's a big toy line. There's a lot to talk about, so I'm just saying that. So yeah, so overall, here's the figure. So the first thing that you're going to notice is the chrome. I mean, man, that stuff sticks out. I love it. I'm a huge chrome fan. I think that I wish the toys would be made with chrome a lot more. There's very few toys that I have that actually have chrome on them, so it's so cool to get one that's so chromed out. The thing that I don't like is the mixing of, you know, stuff. If they made him like all chrome, that would be awesome, but the mixing the dark gray plastic with the chrome just looks odd. When I first saw pictures, I thought it looked terrible. Getting it in hand, it actually doesn't bother me as much as I thought it would, but it still is not a walk in the park. I still don't like it so much, but it isn't that big of a deal. And one thing that they did, which is kind of nice, is that the joint right here, this is dark gray plastic, and then this is chrome, and this is chrome, so kind of mixing them in kind of helps get that chrome to kind of transition into the regular. And then you do have like chrome bits all over here, and then on his back it's all the, sorry, not chrome bits, you've got plastic, you know, dark gray bits all over here, and then on the back it's dark gray, so it is kind of nicely transitioned so that it doesn't look so bad. You know, it's not just chrome next to the dark gray, there's chrome with dark gray influences like around. I don't know what this is, that looks blue. I hope the paint isn't chipping, that would be a shame. But anyway, so overall, I love the chrome. I think it looks so sick. I mean, it's like a mirror too. Look at that, look at how shiny that is. So awesome. Let's get some lights. That looks just so cool. I have to say, he just shines, and for such a big character, that is quite important. And I love that you've got it on the legs too. Of course, I would have liked the arms and the feet even to have chrome as well, but I can imagine it would cost a little more to do that, so I'm not hugely disappointed. But I would have liked this kind of like brushed silver, like to make it look like steel. I would have liked that on the arms to look closer to the chrome at least, but it's okay. Sculpt-wise, the leg-wise, I think the legs are great. I have no problems in the legs. I like the way they transform, because it's simple, but hey, it still looks nice. It's still got a bulky leg. This looks like a regular Transformers leg. I don't see any problem with it. These legs don't look dumbed down at all whatsoever. The arms don't look too bad. I mean, they should obviously have some car parts on them, you know, which is normal, like what we've been used to getting, but it doesn't look that bad. The chest, on the other hand, is rather disappointing. We have gotten many figures like this, many movie figures like this, where the chest is all one piece. I mean, the crankcase, the Voyager Sentinel, and I'm sure there's a boatload of others, but those are just some that I can think of off the top of my head. Just have these regular bodies that are not actually transformed. So it would have been nice to actually have some transformation here. Maybe have these panels like split and, you know, flip up like this blue panel or something and then push it in. That would have been kind of nice. It would have made me feel like it's a little more like a Transformer and everything, but that's okay. Head sculpt is fantastic. Gotta talk about this. Look at this head sculpt. Alright, let's get a nice close-up look. There you go. Looks really nice. I think that he looks awesome. He looks very different, but he also is still the Optimus Prime that you know and love. Very cool. I think that he's got a really nice design to him. The mouth is awesome. I went, because I wasn't quite sure, and I went and looked at every Optimus Prime I have. I have the Transformers Prime, Voyager Prime, and then I have the Ultimate Optimus Prime from Dark of the Moon. I have 2 movie Voyager Optimus Primes, and a deluxe movie Optimus Prime, and a Cyberverse Commander movie Optimus Prime. I looked at all of those, and every single one of them has the faceplate down. This might be the first movie Transformer with the faceplate up, for Optimus Prime, so it is really great to get a different type of look for that. Really happy about that. Now, my biggest complaint, your biggest complaint, everybody's biggest complaint is this backpack. I think for such a simple transformation, the backpack condenses, you know, quite a bit. I mean, it's not really so obtrusive like over here, you know, it's actually quite nice. It's just back here, we've got a lot, as well as it's very long. You do see these pipes coming down. Luckily, they're not, you know, huge in the way. They kind of look like they fill in the body a little bit more, so that's not a huge problem. It does stand up quite tall. I mean, in a perfect world, they, of course, couldn't call this 15 steps, but maybe if they called it, like, 20 steps, they'd still be happy. But these things could, like, fold up like that, and then this thing could just kind of condense, just kind of go down a little bit more, so that these pipes, like, they come down to, like, right here. And then you'd have a much more condensed backpack. You know, that would make it, you know, 18 steps. I mean, I know that they're going so that they can put on the box only 15 steps, but it would have been quite nice to condense it and make it a little bit nicer as well. Of course, down here you do have this kind of like samurai piece. Very neat. It does look quite nice, and pretty cool. Would have liked some more paint on the arms, some more detail. All we have is this little red piece here. Not a big complaint though. Some people are really not liking that the chrome blue and the chrome red are different shades than the regular plastic red and regular plastic blue. I don't mind it. I don't mind it in the slightest. It looks like a variation of that color. I mean, it doesn't look bad. So I don't know why people are really getting worked up about that. I have no problem with that. I don't mind it at all. What else to talk about? Talked about the backpack. Definitely not great. Not terrible though, but could have been made better. And yeah, so overall, here he is. Let's go over articulation before we talk about the accessories and do some size comparisons. I'm sure you guys are interested in how tall this guy is. But first of all, he's got a swivel head. He's got ball hinge shoulders that are on a heavy ratchet. I'm talking a heavy ratchet, so be careful with that. They also swivel. The shoulder plates do go up this far and then go down completely, which is nice. He's got double jointed elbows for transformation. No wrist. I'm really kind of disappointed about these wrists. You know, swivel would have been nice, but a hinge would have been perfect. And the only reason I really care is that he comes with the sword, and there's been a couple of stances and a couple of poses that I've wanted to do that I just couldn't do because there isn't any wrist articulation. No waist, I don't mind that at all. I don't think a waist is necessary for him. I've never felt hindered because I didn't have a waist joint on him, so I don't mind it, but maybe I should. He has thigh joints, heavy ratchet going up and down as well as in and out. He's heavy ratchets just everywhere. Heavy ratchet knee. As you can see, you know, it's tough. It's a little scary to move. Ball jointed ankles, which are great. Really do love these. Get some wide stance, wide-legged stances and still have him flush on the ground. Very cool. Very happy about that. So overall, I do like it. Ratchet joints, they annoy me, but they're very functional. As far as he's not going to collapse. As soon as you get him in a good position, he's great. They're not fun to move around. You know, which is a small price to pay, but still, they are, you know, they're annoying a little bit. So yeah, so let's get into accessories. The Sentinel Shield. I don't know what this is. I bet it won't have any connection to actual Sentinel. Maybe it will, though. I mean, Sentinel did have a big shield. This looks nothing like it, though, so who knows. But maybe this is Sentinel Shield that kind of expands. It's got some energy on it. Looks good. I mean, I really, you know, can't say anything too crazy. I mean, it does look crazy, but there's lots of detail on it. It's pretty well painted. I mean, I got a nice silver and then yellow is yellow, so I don't mind this. I think it looks pretty nice. It plugs into this arm, the only arm that it can plug in, or he can hold it as well if you kind of want to use it as like a gun shield. But yeah, as you can see, it looks like he's protecting him. Then you've got this sword. This sword looks really cool. The only thing I don't like is that the handle should be silver, in my opinion. I think that it looks really bad like this. I don't know why the handle is like energized. It looks strange. So would have loved the handle to be silver, but it's okay that it isn't, I guess. As you can see, the handle is silver in this picture, so they obviously thought of it. They can't say, oh, I didn't think of that. So I would have really loved to see that. What are you going to do, though? It fits in his hand quite well. There we go. Get it in there, and it looks nice. The only thing is, he does have this big peg, which there must be a way to plug this on his body or his shield or something. I just haven't found it yet. So, in my opinion, this thing is just worthless and it's just obtrusive. But who knows? Maybe there's actually a good reason for it. So, I'm not gonna bash it. But I would have liked to not have it. But overall, he does look really neat with these things. You know, I mean, it's very personal preference, but I think that he does look very different, at least. And we've got a million Optimus Primes, so different is definitely going to be good here. So overall, he looks really nice. Let's do some comparisons. Let me stop it and have a bunch of Optimus Primes to compare him with. Alright guys, what better way to show you the scale than just to put him with my collection. So as you can see, here he is with the Voyagers and the Deluxe. He's quite big, he's definitely taller than them, and that looks very nice. The Ultimate Optimus Prime from Dark of the Moon is standing behind him. He is shorter than that, but he definitely should be. So overall, I think that's in pretty good scale. He's in very good scale with Bumblebee. I think that he's really pretty perfect when it comes to Bumblebee. He's a little shorter than Megatron, unfortunately. He just looks a little smaller. and that's definitely a bit of a shame. He'd be pretty good with some Voyagers. The Deluxe look kind of teeny next to him, so I don't think the Lux would work. I don't know, he's kind of just in the middle. He's definitely, you know, he's much bigger than Human Alliance, and he's just a tad smaller than the average leader, so he's kind of in the middle, but not too bad. Overall, he looks pretty good, and size, I would give it, you know, I think it's fine. I think that it's a pretty good, he's pretty good in scale with a lot of Transformers. Alright, so overall, do I think that this is a worthy pickup for you? It's going to heavily depend on what you like. This is definitely not a figure that would compare to the first, second, or even third Transformer toys from the movie. It's just, he's not as good as them for sure. This is definitely a different route for Hasbro, and it's definitely not a route that I like. I definitely don't, so don't get me wrong here. It's just it's a route that I can respect because I think that it's smart for Hasbro and for the kids. So overall, I understand why they're doing it, which is why I have, and you know, which is why I can handle it. It's when I don't understand why they're doing it, when they're just doing it for dumb reasons in my mind, like them just trying to save a penny, you know, that I really don't like. So I understand why they're doing this. I think that, you know, it's a smart decision, whether I like it or not personally, but there you go. Overall, the figure, it's nice. It was better than I was expecting, because, you know, it's definitely a shock to see something like this. So when you first see it, it's like, oh, it looks bad, and then when you get it, it's better than you were actually expecting. Overall, it's pretty nice. The transformation it's good. I think that everybody's gonna like simpler transformations. I mean, it's faster and easier to get it back into a car mode, which is cool. And overall, I think that this is quite a good figure. I would recommend it. Now, recommend it at what price? Amazon has it for $60, which is what I paid for it. Too much. This figure is not worth $60. It's worth $60 if you are a big Transformers fan. If, you know, just for me, I get this amazing feeling about the Transformer movies and collecting Transformer movie toys. I don't know what it is, because I get so happy and so excited about Marvel and DC and Star Wars and everything, but Transformers just doesn't compare. It's just a whole different thing, which is very strange. But I absolutely love collecting the movie Transformers stuff, which is why it was a no-brainer to buy this even for $60 for me. But $60 is definitely not going to be a good price for you guys. For, you know, the average person that enjoys collecting Transformers but isn't like absolute hardcore on it. I would recommend just sticking with the like $40 price tag that it'll probably have later. Trying to adjust some light here. So you know, I'd recommend just waiting to get it in May, because this $60 you pay $60 to get it early, and I think that, I don't know, it might have Chrome when it comes out on its regular release, or it might not, but you're paying $60 for the early release for sure. You might also be paying $60 for the Chrome, I'm not sure, but overall, I really enjoyed it. I'm happy I picked it up, so I'm not regretting that I picked it up whatsoever. I'm very happy. I had never even thought of regretting it, because I've been very happy with this purchase. I do not mind it, and I do enjoy the figure. I think he's quite nice, and he's definitely fun. That's a good one too. He is fun. There's no hassle, there's no frustration with him, which is nice for everybody. So overall, I do like this figure quite a lot, and I know that a lot of you never will, but you know, give it a chance before you judge it, and try to understand where Hasbro's coming from. But overall, there you go. That's my review. Very long review. I expected it to be quite long though, because I had to transform the figure as well as talk about this new series in general. So there you go. If any of you have sticked around to watch the end of this, I applaud you, because that must have been a lot for you. But thank you for watching, and that's my review of the first edition Transformers 4 Optimus Prime. Thank you for watching.